Hey guys, I hope the camera angle's not too awkward here. I'm trying to show you how to assemble my disc kit. So this is like the big 50-foot Kraus disc, and first off, you can paint this Kraus red. There's two different Kraus reds. The old Kraus red is called Low Haps red, and new Kraus red, Kraus Coon red, is called Vermilion red. But you can use whatever you want. There's a Ace Hardware color that is actually called International Red, but it's actually really close to old Kraus Red. So that's an option as well. I feel like it's much closer to Kraus Red than it is International Red, actually. But so I've got this laid out because there's been some questions on what parts go where. Now these are just straight pins. This is how everything gets held together on this thing. So here's our main section right here. We've got our right wing and our left wing, and then those, of course, are just going to go right into those places with straight pins. Now, one word of advice, there are holes printed into this thing. You might be able to see those there. I don't know how well it's going to show on camera. You may have to take a small drill bit or even just your straight pin and run through there just to kind of open that up or clear out any debris or wax that's left over from the 3D printing process. So just FYI on that. Now, I think this is the part that people have been a little hung up on, and understandably so. So on your pack, your kind of parts pack, which is this thing, you've got to snip off these pieces here. And there's actually one more that's supposed to go there. Let me grab the correct one. Sorry, guys. So these pieces here, and these are your outer wing for your outer fold. And so again, these just go on with your straight pins. And so actually, I've got a little burr here, and I'm just going to take a second so that this video isn't 30 minutes long, and I'm going to trim this up. So I'm just going to pause real quick, and I'll come right back. So kind of the big things, sprue cutters, which you can get these anywhere online. Harbor Freight sells a set of these in store. You can just find them everywhere. I think Home Depot, places like that, they all have them as well. And then I like mini files like this when I'm working with 3D printed parts. It doesn't look like these. Well, here's a spot right here, actually. Sorry, where's my camera? There it is. Where the sprue attached to that could use a little bit of filing right in there. And so it's just nice to have a little file on hand just to clean up parts. It just works really well. Now, a lot of times what I'll do, like I said kind of earlier, is I'm going to run, and this could even need drilled out. And if it does, just get a small drill bit and drill it out. But that's going to work fine. I'm just going to run this through good and tight. That's what we want. When this was designed, it was designed super tight clearances. That way it stays folded, hopefully. Not guaranteeing anything, but that's the plan here. That's not as tight. So the big wing, the littler of the outer wings goes on the front. So, and you want it to kind of slide on up. I got a little bit of a burr there to fix too yet. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just gonna, like I said, just take my file, kind of get in there the best I can with it. Get that cleaned up. All right, that looks real good. Should work out this time. If not, well, that's putting together farm toys, huh? You all know what I'm talking about there. So this is just going to slide through like so. Like I said, it's good and stiff. So a couple ways you can cut this. Sorry, camera's over here. Apologize. You can cut it with sprue cutters. You can cut it with some like flat side cutters, which I don't have any right here right this second. You can take your Dremel to it. You can cut it with that. If you cut it with your sprue cutters, just know that the sprue cutters are going to want to twist your cut, okay? So be extra careful, and what you're going to want to do is hold your 3D printed part as secure as possible, and then hit it with your sprue cutter, and of course I lost that, but there you go. You got a cut in there. Now probably what you're going to want to do is clean up that cut, which, you know, just so you've got a nice, you know, you don't have kind of a rough pin sticking out of there necessarily. It will look more finished if you just take, there we go, like that a lot. If you just take your file and file that. Okay, let's see here. This back, kind of just test fit everything first. And then I'm gonna test fit my pin, of course. Looking pretty good. Boy, that's super tight in there, but that's okay. Maybe. I say that. We may have to wallow that one out just a tiny bit. If we do, we do. I've got a drill bit right here if I need to do that. I've got my Dremel sitting right there, so that's an option if we have to take it. Okay, that's not so bad there. Okay. I think I'm gonna wallow this out just a little bit, so let me pause one more time, guys. Okay, so I got that drilled out. You gotta be extra careful if you're gonna drill out holes with your Dremel. In particular, it's probably best to use a pin vise if we're honest, because the Dremel can definitely mess up your part for sure if you over drill it on accident. So there's that. Again, I want to hold really tight there. Perfect. Now I'm just gonna hang on, and I'm gonna file all of these at the end rather than switching between tools quickly like I have been. Let's see. I think the best bet, I put together quite a few of these at this point. Probably the best thing to do at this point is to put on our running gear, or at least test it. Now the running gear on these, whoops, I got that backwards. No, I don't. Got it on the wrong side. Haha. The running gear on these will be painted yellow if you're doing Old Kraus red. Just FYI. So I'm just test fitting right now because, like I said, those are going to get painted a separate color. But I just want to make sure, before I get the whole thing put together, that everything fits, that I don't need to do any sanding or filing or anything like that. Oh yeah, we're in good shape. Particularly the outer ones. These, I haven't had any trouble with the inner ones, but the outers I've had a couple that were a little wonky for me. That's good though. Okay, great. So, now we're gonna put, I'm just gonna put this whole wing section together here, like so. Now if it's fitting a little bit loose for you, you can run just a dab of super glue, and I probably will on this wing, just to make sure it holds the way I want it to. And another kind of tip from a guy who's put together a bunch of these: go from your outsides with your pin. If you go on the insides, this will just slide right off. You'll trust me, you'll thank me later you went on the outsides. I'm gonna snip those very carefully. There we go. And that's in place. And then let's do this one. I'm trying to hold everything and not get that pin to go flying off into the middle of nowhere where I have to go chase it down after I get down here. Okay, there we go. So there's that. Nice and folded up. I'm going to do this other side real quick. It's the same way, and then we'll come back and I'll just bolt up the undercarriage just so you guys can see what that looks like. Well, this video has been interesting. I'm using my phone because it can fit on my stand and face down, and I've gotten 3 phone calls while I was doing this video. So I apologize for some jumpiness here and all that sort of thing. So last one here, guys. Then we'll kind of bolt this thing up to the bottom. I'm sure we're coming up on about 20 minutes on this thing, so I hope it's not too boring for y'all. And but I think if you bought one of these, this is a worthwhile walkthrough, just to kind of see what you're getting into. Okay, it's kind of the same thing. These are super tight, which is okay. I maybe should have drilled them out, but I'm getting them to go through with a little bit of patience and some pressure, so I'm not too worried about drilling them out. I don't mind that they're tight, to be honest with you. Okay, so now I'm just going to flip her over here. Now, if you want to run cylinders on these, here's the place to attach it, and then there's a place here. So it goes one direction, basically. Not the crappy band, but you know what, that's not true. Can't even name a One Direction song. And obviously they have millions of fans, and I have like 6,000 people here on there, so clearly they're doing something awesome. So I shouldn't be running them down. I shouldn't be running anybody down. That's just not right. Anyway, that just slides right in. Whew. In case you're wondering where to get straight pins like this, you can go to like Walmart, Hobby Lobby, lots of places, and you can literally buy a package of thousands for very little money. I'm talking a few dollars. So that's why I'll say most other farm toy guys use straight pins. There we go. I didn't have that quite seated. There we go. Use straight pins on our projects. For things like hinges and all that sort of thing, because it's just silly cheap to do so. Okay, gonna just run this here. Kind of doing the same thing, obviously. I'm trying to hurry a little bit. I'm sure you guys are getting bored watching. Ooh, just ran that up my finger though. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Look at that. And it went right in after I did that. Farm toy building is a contact sport, guys. Boy, that won't cut for nothing, though. Too close to the edge, I suspect. My sprue cutter might be failing me here. Come on. I have to do a little grinding on it to get it to... Boy, that's really something. Yeah, it's that tip's getting a little wore. I may have to sharpen it up. Okay. Let's bend it. And then I'll just come through and with the grinder and take care of it. No problem there. Sometimes you gotta improvise. Okay, sorry about that. I know I'm a little bit off camera here with this. This is tricky. Man, ran that up my finger too. So be careful with the straight pins, fellas. There we go. Alright, one more to go, guys, and then this thing's pretty well together. There's kind of some optional parts, cylinders and things like that. Some of my customers want those, some of them don't. So, actually this one that I'm building here, this is not getting cylinders. So, it's just entirely up to you. Now, these have 4, but I'm going to just do 2 for now because I'm going to have to take this apart and paint it. So, I'm only going to do 2. There's that. Last one. Come on, you can go in there. You got her. There it goes. Yeah, sometimes you just got to work it a little bit. Alright. And there it is, fellas. Okay. Hope you liked that, guys. Hope this is helpful to y'all. Now everything should raise and lower just fine. And you are basically ready to take this thing to paint. Hopefully you've already got your disc gangs, your wheels, and your tires painted. And then you can mount everything up like that. So that is how you put together the frame of my 50-foot disc. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope it was informative for you anyway. Let me know if you guys want me to do more of this sort of thing, or if this is just super boring and you're done with it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day and happy tractor hunting.